Well, I mean, that's what like a podcast is like for me. It's just like you're listening to a conversation that you would have over dinner or somewhere else.
Right.
Like someone's conversation, and you're just taking in what they're talking about. Like you might not be just participating in it, but you're listening into a conversation. And like with any conversation, there's golden gems and golden nuggets hidden within the conversation that you go, oh, I didn't know that.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's a really important thing, isn't it? Like, how can I say? What is it when it feels like, it's the wrong word, but coerced?
Yeah.
You know, like that's when like pretentiousness comes out. Coerced is clearly not the word, but you know, it sounds like it's like a premeditated, it's like an unnatural.
It's like someone's rehearsed the answer and like you feel like you're not getting a genuine answer from someone.
Right.
It just feels like, then it becomes like an interview, right?
Yes.
That doesn't feel like a podcast to me. Like when someone's asking you all these questions and then you've got like this preempted answer, it almost feels like a interview more than an actual podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
It feels like a bit more journalistic in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, like and on today's episode of Sit Down and Try to Speak Naturally, I have my special guest with me all the way from the city, but is originally a native from this part of Victoria. Victoria Lee, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Llama. Thank you. You get that button that goes,
applause. The applause sign pops up on the screen. You know, it's like, yeah, no, that's it. And you're not going to get the same kind of conversation out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were aware of like that era. Let's just say 2014, because it's been a year that's been cropping up a lot in all my feeds. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why 2014? I don't know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say why 2014.
Why 2014?
Yeah.
Right? Exactly, because I was on my Twitter and I go there to see video game stuff, and I know a few locals, DJs, and they posted something about like a TikTok. It was like a TikTok. It's like, DJs think they could drop bangers from 2014 and get away with it, as in to say like
it's bad. Like
you know, like it's not enough to just drop classics from the 2014 era. And I legit, when I mentioned it to someone else recently, I'm like, 2014, and we both went,
what happened in 2014?
like, isn't 2014 was that not like the peak, if not the era, where, you know, you'd get comments like eyebrows on fleek?
Oh, that generation. 2014 I would have been first year uni. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, okay, so
sounds about right.
Keep that time frame in mind.
Yeah.
So within context of us talking about like unnatural conversation, more interview like.
Yeah.
Do you remember the content that was starting to come out from then right up until pre-COVID, where people were starting to become quite guru-like, you know, like,
let me show you my makeup product. You got like the hand.
Yeah, right. You know, like focusing on, you know, to get that focus on the camera. And then like it was almost like everyone was like an expert. Everyone was an expert talking about shit.
Yes,
like,
I remember that.
I used to watch a lot of like sort of spiritual ones.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just like, in hindsight, it's really cringe. You know. And then now what I'm finding interesting, which kind of stems from our dinner while we were... dinner. I was going to say our dinner while having lunch. I meant to say, excuse me, you know, it's like my friggin' Filipino, like, second language mind in my head, like, jumbled up in translation. What was I going to say now? Fuck, I forgot.
A conversation earlier.
About, like, the dissemination, you know. If my angle would bloody change. There we go. The dissemination of like a new generation coming in of previous generations' work, you know, for more juicier vocabulary.
I just look at you and I just feel like your brain's just gone. Dot. What do I say?
I'll put it in the. I'll put it on the snippet. Yeah, like for the socials. But yeah, I think it's within context. You know, like now, in terms of like podcasts that you like, right? You want that conversational thing, as if you were having your own conversation.
Yeah.
And then those gems come out. You know.
Yeah.
Like. Because back in 2014, when your podcast was on fleek, you know, and your shoes were on fleek, and you know, like your content was on fleek, you know what I mean? Like sharp, It was like, I'm not saying we don't need that. We need that sharpness.
Yeah, you do.
But it's a different kind of meal.
Yeah. I also just think podcasts have transformed, though. I feel like back in the day, podcasts. Because I remember when I was first starting to get into podcasts, I didn't really tell many people because I was just like, I feel like the connotation involved, like with it, is like you're there and you have to listen to something educational, like right? It's like it's not like fun to listen to podcasts, right? It's like a very educational type thing that you're listening to, or like you're listening to the news, or you're listening to like. I don't know, like a National Geographic or so, like something along those lines, right? Like something where it's like very educational. It wasn't like that was like the image that you had back then. It wasn't very much like how it does now, where the more people you talk to about like podcasting, the more they're like, oh yeah, I listen to this person's podcast. They're really good about self-development, or like I really like enjoy this podcast because they're interviewing this person or they're talking with this person or this community leader or whatever it is. So it's less about like a very old school way of education. It's a very new way of getting information, but in a fun way. But also like a lot of people who I talk to who do listen to podcasts, they've told me that they generally listen to it on their train ride or their drive to places. So like especially when they're like half an hour to an hour long, you just put one on and instead of listening to music, you listen to a podcast.
Right.
And that's their way of getting up to date or improving themselves or whatever it is. So it's like transformed and changed.
Yeah.
But like I feel like now there might be more of an oversaturation in the podcast market than it used to be. I feel like...
In what way?
I don't know. I feel like everyone's trying to hop on it. Like a lot of YouTube, like content creators, like YouTubers, have now created their own podcast.
Separate
to their normal content
is.
Which is like nice and fun. I listen to a couple of them, like David So comedy when he does. But he's just a very opinionaly person, so.
That's what people want. That
it's interesting.
They want that smoke, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like I think it's just transform and change.
Sorry, continue.
It's just transform and change. Like even TikTok is like now such a big thing. Like,
it is.
I reckon I knew about TikTok and someone. Do you know Gary V?
Yes. Gary V, he's an amazing guy.
Yeah, he was talking. I went to one of his workshops, like maybe 3 years. One of his seminars 3 years back when he was in Melbourne, 3 or 4 years back.
What?
He was here. I'm pretty sure it was Gary V. And he was like, the new bandwagon, TikTok, hop onto it, like get onto it.
He was. I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
And I was like, oh, TikTok, nah. And he was right. It's like popping. Like, TikTok's the new thing.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry. I'm trying to do a Gary V impersonation, but... I would really love to be able to pull off because I love people from that part of the United States. East Coast. Like, I have an affinity with New York. And then being in the Mecca for hip-hop, you know, like... seeing characters and the way they talk and the broad spectrum of it. Gary V's like another character. I'm not sure if he's from New York originally or he's based now, but he's from Jersey or something. You know, like I'm sure you know his backstory.
Oh, I don't know completely. It's been a while. I haven't followed him for a long time. It's mainly went because one of my friends really liked him.
Right.
And I thought it'd just be a good opportunity to go and see him talk and speak and stuff. Very, very good speaker. Very, very good speaker.
Yeah, he's an amazing speaker.
Amazing speaker.
Full of energy.
Full of just a lot of charisma and like the way he captures you, and the way he talks. There's just some people that, you know, you talk to or you walk through the room and they just have that charisma and that way of being able to get everyone's attention. Yeah. Even if you're talking about the most boring thing. Like at work we've got, like in my old division, I used to, for my CA training, so my chartered accounting.
CA, that's like, what it's called. Yeah, CAS chartered accounting. Yes.
I have to do like regular training sessions to keep up to date and whatnot. And he's talking about tax, which is a little bit boring, right? Usually. But he was just so passionate, like so passionate that you sit there, you're like, it's a boring topic, but because you're so passionate and you're so good at delivering it, I'm actually really, I'm actually focusing. I'm actually absorbing the information.
Taking it in.
You're actually taking it in.
Yeah.
And then when he took long service leave and someone else came in, I was like, this is not the same. I don't want to go training.
Your face says it all. It's like, I miss the old guy.
But that's the thing, right? Like, if someone is really passionate about something and just very charismatic, it just changes. Like, they might be delivering the exact same information as your Joe Blow, but you just be like, oh, wow, that's cool. That's different, you know?
No, that's exactly.
Yeah.
You should be charismatic. You should be posting stories like, why not like 4, 5, 10, 20 times a day? However he talks. It's totally a bad Gary Vee impersonation. It's like, document everything. It's got to be documented, like my accent's wrong. But yeah, the charisma is important. And it's also good to mention, like, especially within education, within workforces, within whatever, it's like, this stuff is fucking boring. Like the technical aspects of a lot of things, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
But if it can be palatable and a lot more easily digestible, i.e. like a podcast. I mean, there's dead boring podcasts that I know some of my friends listen to so they can go to sleep. Yo!